2024 क्रिएटिव इकोनॉमिक फोरम 2047 के लिए भारत के क्रिएटिव उद्योगों को आकार देना। नई दिल्ली, द 2nd of September 2024 क्रिएटिव इकोनॉमिक फोरम 2024 का दूसरा संस्करण सीजन 2 पैनलिस्टों और मेहमानों की प्रभावशाली उपस्थिति के साथ संपन्न हुआ। इस कार्यक्रम का आयोजन क्रिएटिव इकोनॉमिक फोरम की संस्थापक और सिने दरबार की अध्यक्ष सुश्री सुप्रिया सूरी द्वारा किया गया, जो नई दिल्ली के डॉक्टर अंबेडकर इंटरनेशनल सेंटर में संपन्न हुआ। इस वर्ष के फोरम का मुख्य विषय विकसित भारत 2047 के लिए क्रिएटिव इंडस्ट्रीज के लिए रोडमैप था, जिसमें भारत के क्रिएटिव क्षेत्रों के भविष्य के व्यवसाय और बाजार के अवसरों पर ध्यान केंद्रित किया गया, क्योंकि राष्ट्र अपनी स्वतंत्रता की शताब्दी की ओर बढ़ रहा है। सिने दरबार द्वारा आयोजित, जो सांस्कृतिक और क्रिएटिव उद्योगों (CCI) के लिए एक अंतर्राष्ट्रीय मंच है, यह फोरम एक अग्रणी कार्यक्रम है जो फिल्म, संगीत, फैशन, गेमिंग, प्रकाशन, हस्तशिल्प, कला और संग्रहालयों सहित विभिन्न क्रिएटिव क्षेत्रों के नेताओं को एक साथ लाता है। इस कार्यक्रम में उच्च स्तरीय पैनलिस्टों की एक विशिष्ट श्रृंखला शामिल थी, जिनमें संस्कृति मंत्रालय की संयुक्त सचिव लिली पांडेया, ब्रिटिश काउंसिल की निदेशक भारत एलिसन बेनेट, MBE, दिल्ली उच्च न्यायालय की माननीय न्यायमूर्ति प्रतिभा M. सिंह, डिजाइनर अंजू मोदी, श्री सफीर आनंद, रूपा पब्लिकेशंस के प्रबंध निदेशक कपिश मेहरा, पर्यटन मंत्रालय की महानिदेशक श्रीमती मृगदा सिन्हा, IAS, इथियोपिया के संघीय लोकतांत्रिक गणराज्य के एम्बेसडर महामहिम सुश्री बिजुनेश मेसेरेट, जमैका के उच्चायुक्त महामहिम जेसन के एम हॉल और स्लोवाक गणराज्य, नई दिल्ली के एम्बेसडर महामहिम श्री रॉबर्ट मैक्सियन, ICCR के उप महानिदेशक श्री अभय कुमार सहित कई अन्य प्रमुख हस्तियां शामिल थी। इस अवसर पर टिप्पणी करते हुए क्रिएटिव इकोनॉमिक फोरम की संस्थापक और सिने दरबार की अध्यक्ष सुप्रिया सूरी ने कहा, इस असाधारण फोरम का उद्देश्य उद्यमियों, कलाकारों, कानूनी विशेषज्ञों, नौकरशाहों, सरकारी अधिकारियों, एम्बेसडरों और गिल्ड नेताओं सहित प्रतिभागियों की एक विस्तृत श्रृंखला के बीच सहयोग और संवाद को बढ़ावा देना था। इन विभिन्न क्षेत्रों की आवाजों को एकजुट करके फोरम का उद्देश्य भारत की क्रिएटिव अर्थव्यवस्था की एक निर्णायक आवाज बनना है। विकसित भारत 2047 थीम के अनुरूप फोरम में विभिन्न सत्र शामिल थे, जिनमें क्रिएटिव उद्योगों के लिए बौद्धिक संपदा का निर्माण, क्रिएटिव अर्थव्यवस्था में नवाचार, पर्यटन पर क्रिएटिव उद्योगों का प्रभाव और वैश्विक बाजारों तक विस्तार के लिए रणनीतियां जैसी महत्वपूर्ण विषयों पर चर्चा की गई। इस अवसर पर क्रिएटिव ग्लोबल वॉइस ऑफ इंडिया अवार्ड्स का भी शुभारंभ किया गया। क्रिएटिव ग्लोबल वॉइस ऑफ इंडिया अवार्ड्स उन लोगों की कड़ी मेहनत और समर्पण का जश्न मनाते हैं जो रचनात्मकता, नवाचार और उद्यमशीलता की भावना का प्रतीक हैं। ये पुरस्कार उन व्यक्तियों को सम्मानित करते हैं जिन्होंने क्रिएटिव उद्योगों में महत्वपूर्ण योगदान दिया है और अपने काम और समर्पण से दूसरों को प्रेरित किया है। कार्यक्रम का समापन नई दिल्ली के लिए मेरिडियन होटल द्वारा आयोजित एक शानदार रात्रिभोज के साथ हुआ, जिसमें दिल्ली के सांस्कृतिक और क्रिएटिव क्षेत्रों की प्रमुख हस्तियों ने भाग लिया।
Collaboration and build dialogue among a wide array of participants, including visionary entrepreneurs, talented artists, creators, innovators, seasoned legal experts, and government officials. By uniting these cross-sectoral voices, the Creative Economic Forum aspires to be the definitive voice of India's creative economy. I would begin by thanking and acknowledging all of our fantastic partners. Auto partner Maruti Suzuki, Hamdard Foundation, LIC, Delhi Tourism as state partner, and Uttar Pradesh Tourism, Mr. Mukesh Mashram, Principal Secretary, for extending his kind support. I would like to invite and request all our esteemed guests to join us on stage for the lamp lighting. Please welcome Honorable Justice Pratibha M. Singh, Delhi High Court, author of the book Pratibha M. Singh on Patent Law. Followed by her, we have Ms. Alison Barrett, MBE, Director India, British Council, Ms. Lily Pandya, Joint Secretary, Ministry of Culture, and Ms. Supriya Suri, Founder, Creative Economic Forum. Please give a huge round of applause. Pratibha M. Singh. Please give a huge round of applause. I request Ms. Supriya Suri again to felicitate Ms. Lily Pandya. Beautiful moment. And also to felicitate Ms. Alison Barrett. Everyone, give a huge round of applause. Thank you, everyone. And now we begin the day. As I mentioned earlier, there is one person who critically ensured us all to come here on one platform, and that is Ms. Supriya Suri, founder, Creative Economic Forum. She studied film direction with AGIT scholarship at Conservatoire Libre de Cinéma, Paris, France. She started her career in 2009 as the founding member of Cine Darbar, India. With her organization, she has been involved in curatorial practices, film criticism, educational programs, and has organized several festivals dedicated to creative industry across India. In 2012, she was nominated by the US government for the International Visitor Leadership Program to represent films from India. She has been on the jury for the 28th Kolkata International Film Festival and for Cineast International Film Festival and was invited by Meta Cinema Forum in Dubai as a speaker on Asian cinema. As a filmmaker and producer, Ms. Supriya Suri has completed 4 films with her production house. Please give a huge round of applause, and I request her to please give the welcome address.
Good morning, distinguished guests, esteemed colleagues, and honorable dignitaries on the dais, Ms. Alison Barrett, Ms. Lily Pandey, and Honorable Justice Pratibha Singh ji. As we know, creative economy contributes to the nation's GDP, provides job opportunities, fosters innovation, preserves and promotes cultural heritage, boosts tourism, among other benefits. But beyond this, it's about shaping our creative narrative and ensuring our place in the world. As our Honorable Prime Minister embarks on a vision to transform the country and to build Viksit Bharat, Creative Economic Forum takes the opportunity to be the voice of Creative India. Our Season 2 takes pride in celebrating the theme and to be the starting point to discuss the roadmap for creative industries for Viksit Bharat and to elevate the Indian creative economy as the nation prepares to celebrate its 100th independence in 2047. The forum also unveils a new endeavor, Creative Global Voice of India Awards. CGVI Awards aims to encourage creative entrepreneurship, inspire excellence and innovation to advance the Indian creative industries. Our esteemed speakers and delegates have travelled from different parts of India to join us today and fill us with pride to stand as the united voice of creative India. Together, we play a pivotal role in shaping the future of creative industries. I would like to announce that next in pipeline for CEF, Creative Economic Forum, is to organize more events in different states of India and to open creative entrepreneur membership. I request our participants to be in touch, to be self-ambassadors and lead different state chapters. I extend my deepest gratitude to all stakeholders, partners and participants who have made this forum possible. As we embark on the journey together, I am confident that the ideas and connections we cultivate during the forum will lead to meaningful change. Ladies and gentlemen, with this, I welcome you all to the Creative Economic Forum Season 2. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Followed by her, we have Ms. Alison Barrett, MBE, Director, India, British Council. Alison Barrett, MBE, leads the India operations of the British Council across our work in English, education, and arts. She is committed to strengthening the educational and cultural exchange between India and the UK by building connections, understanding, and trust. She has worked for the British Council for over 25 years in a variety of roles in our teaching, examinations, and cultural engagement units, supporting the building of connections between the UK and our network overseas. Most of her career has been spent in the Asia Pacific region with posts based in India, Bangladesh, Pakistan, UAE, and Thailand. Prior to joining the British Council, she worked as a teacher in Nepal, Japan, and South Korea. Since 2011, Ms. Alison has held numerous senior management positions at country, regional, and global level. Her last stint, prior to taking up the Director India role, was as the Cultural Engagement Business Director for the East Asia region. She led the British Council's education, English and arts portfolio in China, North and Southeast Asia, and Australia and New Zealand. Since 2020, she's been the SRO of the Climate Connection, a global program and platform for dialogue and action, which has connected young people, policymakers, and sector specialists from the UK and over 178 countries together to tackle the climate emergency through culture, education, and English. She is particularly interested in higher and basic education and English. She holds an MA in teaching English as a second language from the Institute of Education, University of London, and in 2014, Alison was rewarded as MBE for services to the teaching and learning of English in India. I request Ms. Alison Barrett to give this special address on the forum.
Thank you so much. यहाँ आकर बहुत खुशी हूँ क्योंकि कल्चर और क्रिएटिविटी बहुत ज़रूरी है हमारा ज़िंदगी के लिए हमारा भविष्य के लिए. Thank you so much for inviting me. Thank you so much for Sine Darba and for Supriya Suri for this innovation and for inviting me here today. Honourable Justice, thank you so much for being here. And it's brilliant also to be sitting alongside the amazing, brilliant Leah Pandya, who I've had the pleasure of working together with before through the culture track of the G20, and now collaborating between India and the UK on the creative economy. So thank you so much. I'm really delighted to be here. So as director of the UK's Organisation for Cultural and Educational Relations, this is a core mandate for us. It's one that we address comprehensively in many ways through policy exchange, through building institutional partnerships and collaboration, through offering capacity building programs and initiatives, and showcasing innovative work between India and the UK, making sure that particularly young artists and emerging artists have the opportunity and the platforms to really get a leg up in their careers. We support delivery of the bilateral priorities agreed between India and the UK through the Comprehensive Strategic Partnership. This already has a very clear focus on the mutual exchange around culture and creativity. And we see it as a very core part of our work because of its support for mutual prosperity. We're proud to play a leading role in connecting our sectors and creating opportunities for them to thrive in different ways. We work closely with other UK organisations and government departments like the Department for Business and Trade and also UKRI, who themselves invested £3 million in the last few years into research in the creative industries in India. The creative economy is vast. It's a huge ecosystem. In the UK, 1 in 14 people work in the creative industries, and we imagine that that is going to grow in the coming decade or so. India and the UK are powerhouses in their creative and cultural sectors, both internationally and nationally, both independently and together. In 2019, according to the Department of Culture, Media and Sport in the UK, India was the 3rd largest trading partner with the UK in arts and culture, after the US and Ireland. And during 2021, 20 Hindi films were made in the UK. That's why I'm trying to learn a little bit of Hindi, so I can understand more of them. There is much to play for to strengthen the mutual collaboration and cooperation between our two countries. As I said in an article recently, arts and culture make tangible the living bridge between our countries, with a constant stream of cultural exchange in both directions. That flow of people really helps build cultural understanding, appreciation of difference, of diversity, and deeper connections that also support livelihoods and prosperity, as I said earlier. The creative industries are really at the heart of the UK's economy. Our creative sector grew more than 60% faster than the wider economy between 2010 and 2019. And provisional statistics indicate that the creative industries in 2022 contributed 124 billion to our economy, accounting for 5.7% of GVA. In 2021, exports in the creative industries through goods and services were estimated at 45 billion for services, 9 billion for goods. And overall, they add 25 billion to the UK trade balance. So it's a massively significant sector for us. Much of this value comes from the boom in creative tech, as it does in India, where we're seeing a massive upsurge in innovation around the creative tech industries. But also, the UK, our visual arts market is 3rd only to the US and China, and it's worth sales of $10.9 billion in 2023. So the lifeblood of innovation really after COVID-19 is vested in enterprises. We know that the arts and creative industries are vested in small and micro industries, and the innovation that the UK has taken to embed tax coding and the creative industries within our formal sector makes it much easier for the government to respond and support the sector in times of need. So it's really critical that it has that national visibility. But it's also really important for a country's soft power, for its overseas attractiveness, for its influence, for its engagement, and that contributes significantly to tourism as well. A British Council survey of 18 to 34-year-olds in the G20 nations said that 23% thought that the UK was in the top 3 most attractive countries in the world as a source of arts and culture. Many of our creative industries are known globally. Just recently, the Teamwork Arts organisation took around 35 Indian performers to the Edinburgh Military Tattoo, and there are many Indian performers who attend the Edinburgh Festival every year. We have the Glastonbury Festival that you must know about, the Tate Modern, the British Library. The UK is home to 13 of the top 100 museums in the world. The British Council reaches 650 million people globally through our work in arts and culture and education, 30 million here in India. And an icon index indicated that brands like the British Council and the Tate Modern and our museums are often even more well recognised than the monarchy itself. So we play a really key part in the ecosystem. And finally, our contribution is also to sustainability and innovation. I had the opportunity to attend COP26 in Glasgow, where the British Council had its first pavilion in the Blue Zone, really trying to place culture at the centre of the debate around climate solutions. And I'm really proud to say that we now attend COP annually, and we've now been able to ensure that culture is a much more integral part of that process. There was a call to action in 2021 at COP26, talking about how vital culture is for national economies, for creative skills and innovation, but also the fact that culture can change hearts and minds, can help us understand each other's experiences and appreciate each other better. So our new government in the UK, just finally, has highlighted the importance of this sector for our priorities moving forwards. And it's so important for many reasons. We want to make sure that every child has access to high quality creative education, that all people from every background have the skills that they need to engage in the creative sector, to access good jobs. We want to ensure that young people also have the opportunity to engage in the creative sector, and we want to dismantle the economic and social barriers to participation. It's really important that everyone can appreciate the beauty of arts and culture and creativity. A couple more examples before I finish of the work that we do in partnership with Indian partners. We now, at the British Council in Delhi, have an exhibition of Indian artists who've studied in the UK during their careers. We have 11 artists' work on display, so please come and have a look at that. We have partnerships with the University of Arts London, supporting research and development into sustainable fashion and textiles. We're supporting capacity building in the festival sector through a South Asia's festival programme. We have over 350 festivals on our Festivals in India app and website. We are supporting new joint education programmes between organisations like the School of African and Oriental Studies in the UK and the National Law University in Delhi, who have just launched a new joint master's programme in urban regeneration. And we are also on the editorial board of UNESCO's forthcoming research into the state of creativity and education here in India. So as Prime Minister Modi said at the 46th session on the World Heritage Committee just last month, the creative industries are the most dynamic sector of the global economy and offer developing nations chances to enter into new high-growth sectors. Cultural and creative industries will play a big role in global growth. And we in the UK look forward to partnering with you and prospering with you in that sector as that sector grows. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for sharing your insights. Followed by her, we have Ms. Lily Pandya, Joint Secretary, Ministry of Culture. Please give a huge round of applause, and I request her to give the special address.
Honorable Justice Pratibha Singh, Alison Barrett, Asad Lalji, Dr. Shah Faisal. Thank you, Supriya Suri, the founder of Cine Darbar, and many congratulations on the second edition of this Creative Economy Forum. Esteemed colleagues, fellow creatives, ladies and gentlemen, it is a privilege to stand before you today as we delve into the visionary roadmap for India's creative industries and the collective pursuit of Viksit Bharat by 2047. As the Joint Secretary of Ministry of Culture, Government of India, it is my honor and privileged to share the aspirations and strategies for positioning India as a global leader in the creative economy, a vital pillar in our nation's journey towards becoming fully developed by 2047. Situated at the confluence of creativity, commerce, collaboration, and technology, the Culture Working Group of India's G20 presidency, thank you, Alison, for remembering it so well, championed the groundbreaking endorsement of culture as a standalone goal in the post-2030 Global Development Agenda, as enshrined in Para 31 of the New Delhi Leaders' Declaration 2023. This milestone marks a paradigm shift in the global development strategy as it underscores culture as a fundamental pillar for inclusive and sustainable development, recognizing its impact on social inclusion and economic growth. The culture goal would galvanize global action, nurture creativity and intercultural dialogue, empower marginalized communities, and safeguard our vulnerable cultural heritage, including traditional cultural knowledge and traditional cultural expressions. Now, culture has so far been considered as a transversal element, necessary for the achievement of the 17 SDGs. However, the recent ongoing global development discourse on the role of culture and creative economy emphasizes the necessity of integrating culture and creativity through a ground-up approach in the national development strategies as well as local development strategies. It highlights that the protection and promotion of cultural heritage contributes significantly to the socio-economic and environmental dimensions of sustainable development. The initiative also stresses the importance of cultural diversity and intercultural dialogue in achieving peace and security, which are integral to the SDGs. By weaving cultural considerations into the core fabric of development, we unlock the transformative potential, ensuring a more transformative potential of culture and ensuring a more equitable, just, and sustainable world for generations to come. Now, India's creative industries are more than just a repository of our rich cultural heritage. They are a dynamic force for economic growth, job creation, social cohesion, and sustainable development. As we look towards 2047, we envision a Vikasit Bharat, where creativity and culture are at the heart of our development agenda, driving innovation, creating sustainable jobs, and opening doors to global markets. Cultural and creative industries and creative economy, according to studies, contribute 3.1% of the global GDP, and it is the largest, as a sector, it is the largest employer of individuals aged 15 to 29. The global creative economy is valued at an impressive USD 985 billion and is projected to contribute up to 10% of the global GDP by 2030. In India alone, the creative economy employed around 39.73 million people between 2017 and 2020, making up about 8.3% of country's total employment. India stands tall as one of the top exporters of creative goods, with a collection of USD 337 million from Indian films alone. Supriya. In fact, we are among the top 10 countries in the global exchange of cultural and creative goods and services. Our exports of performing arts goods, for instance, saw a remarkable increase, growing from USD 9.5 million in 2010 to USD 22.3 million in 2019. Our government's commitment to this sector is evident in the establishment of a dedicated vertical in the Ministry of Culture for creative economy and writing schemes and policies on creative economy. Now, this is not just a policy intervention. Those of us working in it take it as a movement to empower artists, artisans, filmmakers, designers, and other cultural professionals with tools, opportunities, and protections they need to thrive in a rapidly evolving global landscape. Under this vertical, a central sector scheme is being developed to institutionalize key policy interventions and support approximately 40 million arts and crafts professionals across the country. The scheme aims to build a robust ecosystem for the cultural and creative industries by focusing on critical areas like incubating cultural entrepreneurs, ensuring market linkages through digital platforms, capacity building and skill development, and safeguarding intellectual property rights of the cultural professionals. Additionally, a comprehensive methodology will be developed to quantify creative economy's contribution to India's GDP, ensuring that its impact is accurately measured and recognized. In the years leading up to 2047, we aim to amplify this contribution manifold. The sector is not just a reflection of our culture. It is a dynamic force that drives innovation, shapes societal narratives, and influences global trends. While it is a well-recognized fact that society can shape and invigorate creativity, the reverse is equally true. The creative economy, encompassing arts, culture, media, and innovation, acts as a centrifugal force, continually pushing the boundaries of what is possible. Our creative talents not only adapt to changes, but are often the very agents that propel these changes, turning visions into reality. Now consider the inception of Google Images. The overwhelming curiosity surrounding Jennifer Lopez's iconic dress at the 2000 Grammy Awards led to the creation of this now indispensable tool. What began as a challenge for search engines became an opportunity for innovation, resulting in a platform that revolutionized for all times to come how we interact with the visual content online. This is just one example of how creative economy can spark technological advancements that have a global impact. Similarly, Swiftonomics illustrates the profound economic influence of a single artist, Taylor Swift. Her Eras tour has revitalized local economies, demonstrating how creative talents can generate significant economic activity. On a global stage, the Korean Wave showcases how a nation can leverage its cultural assets, from K-pop and K-drama to kimchi, to captivate and influence global audiences transcending borders and languages. These examples underscore that the creative economy is not just about producing cultural goods and services. It is a very powerful driver of societal transformation, shaping our experiences, behaviors, and identities. Moreover, they highlight that our creative industries are not mere beneficiaries of technological advancement, but are active drivers of innovation and change. Throughout history, and here I take examples only from India, technology and culture have been intertwined in advancing each other. Consider the Kailash temple of Ellora, carved from a single rock in the 8th century, a marvel of both cultural artistry and technological innovation, or the musical pillars of Hampi, crafted with precision to produce musical notes, showcasing a blend of metallurgy and acoustics. Now, these historical examples remind us that culture needs can push the boundaries of technology. As we stand on the brink of artificial intelligence-powered era, we must embrace the challenges and opportunities it presents. While AI may pose threats to certain aspects of creative sector, it also underscores the growing importance of human experiences, creativity, and cultural heritage. We must strike a delicate balance where AI complements human creativity rather than replacing it, ensuring a harmony between rapid innovation and preservation of our cultural traditions. Studies suggest that the creative sector may be less susceptible to automation, highlighting its role as a driver of future creativity and employment. In the age of generative AI and machine learning, there will be an increasing demand for experiences that reconnect us to what truly makes us human. As we navigate Industry 4.0, our creative industries must harness emerging technologies and stay competitive. We are committed to equipping our creative professionals with skills and tools needed to leverage technology for creative expressions, market expansion, and preservation of our heritage. We are also promoting sustainable practices in production and operation, aligning with global sustainability goals to ensure long-term viability of our cultural assets. Moving towards Viksit Bharat 2047, the creative industries will play a pivotal role in shaping our nation's identity on the global stage. I urge all the stakeholders to join hands with the government in strengthening this vibrant ecosystem. Together, we can create a future where India's cultural riches are celebrated worldwide, contributing to a prosperous and inclusive society. Let us craft, weave, and tell our stories in every corner of the globe. Stories that are uniquely Indian but universal in their appeal. Together, we can achieve a vision of Viksit Bharat 2047, where our creative industries are a beacon of innovation, resilience, and cultural pride. Thank you. Namaste.
Thank you, ma'am. There were so many key takeaways from your speech. Thank you so very much. And now, to set the tone of the forum, we have Honorable Justice Pratibha M. Singh, Delhi High Court, author of the book Pratibha M. Singh on Patent Law. Please give a huge round of applause, and I request her to share some nuggets of wisdom with us and deliver a keynote address.
Very good morning to all of you. Namaskar. My co-speakers, Alison, Lily Pandya, and the organizer of this event, Supriya, members from the creative industry, lawyers, professionals, students, representatives from various missions, a very good morning. I requested, in fact, Lily and me requested the organizers not to give our profiles because they just are available online. Just to set the tone to what I'm going to speak today, to those of you who may not know, I've been a practicing lawyer in intellectual property for more than 25 years, and then I was elevated as a judge of the Delhi High Court. Before my elevation, I was also involved in drafting the National IPR policy for India, which is now the policy which is in place, which the government is currently following in 2014. And copyright has been one of my favorite subjects. It's actually one of the most vibrant forms of intellectual property. More than trademarks, patents, though I've written a book on patents, I think copyright, because of its versatility, it covers almost everything that we do from morning to night. Just to give you a kind of idea कि हम लोग सुबह उठ के क्या करते हैं, सबसे पहले फ़ोन देखते हैं, उसके बाद टूथब्रश करते हैं, फ़ोन में म्यूज़िक सुनते हैं, न्यूज़पेपर्स पढ़ते हैं, म्यूज़िक and newspapers have copyright. You read books, you have copyright. You sit in the car, There is copyright in the software in your car, in your phone, उसमें copyright है. You listen to FM music, there is copyright in that. If you watch news in the morning, there is copyright in that. You go to the office, you open your computer, the software is copyrightable, right? Anything that you do, the clothes you wear, there is copyright artistry in that. The food you eat, recipe books are copyrightable. Every channel, television channel, music channel that you watch in the evening for entertainment, there is copyright. So सुबह से रात तक, whatever we do, there is copyright in everything we do. इसलिए copyright जो है register नहीं करना होता. You don't need to register copyright. You have the right as soon as the work is created. अगर आप एक poem आज लिखेंगे, वो poem का copyright आपके पास है. आपको कहीं भी जाके उसका registration नहीं कराना होता. कोई गाना लिखते हैं, कोई सॉफ्टवेयर बनाते हैं, कोई डेटाबेस क्रिएट करते हैं, anything that you create has copyright. Now, I think the PowerPoint presentation is there, but I'm trying to speak. I don't know if it's visible to you. You can see it? Yes. All right. So, creative work जो है, mind का creation है ये सारा. And therefore, different copyrights in works में दिया जाता है. But इंडिया में जो क्रिएटिव इंडस्ट्री है, मिस पांड्या ने अभी आपको उसका द मैग्नीट्यूड ऑफ द इंडस्ट्री हैज बीन प्लेस्ड बिफोर यू कि कितना बड़ा है. आईपीआर्स में देखिए, इफ यू सी द स्लाइड, यू हैव कॉपीराइट्स ऑन वन हैंड, देन यू हैव ट्रेडमार्क्स, you have designs, you have geographical indications. I think like the Kanchipuram sarees, the Kolhapuri chappals, the Kutch embroidery, and the Kanta jacket that Alison is wearing. So all of this has creativity. But today we are here to discuss what should the creative industry do and what are the challenges that it is facing, what is the kind of issues that the copyright industry is facing, and are there any solutions in India for that. Now let's just freeze on this slide. If you see this, this tells you what are all the rights you get in a copyright, a work. Just go back one slide, please. Yes, section 14. You can read it on your own. I don't need to expand this. Go 2 slides. Aage. What are the rights that a copyright owner gets? Go further. One more. One more. Yes, here. So, any work, suppose you write a book, what is the copyright you get in it? You can make copies of the book. You can make translations of the book. You can make that book into a movie. You can make that book into a drama. You can create an adaptation of that book. If there is any poetry in that book, you can make a song out of it. You can even make a film out of it, or even a sound recording of it. So all these rights can be there in one story or one book. But how do we provide the platform for making all of this? The law is there. The law is there to protect everybody. But how do you provide the platform? Next. Copyright is a very interesting right. It is not on, for example, let us say there is a well-known bhajan. That bhajan can be sung by 20 artists. But each of those artists has a copyright in their rendition of that bhajan. It is not the bhajan that you cannot sing it, I cannot sing it, only one person can sing it. No, that's in patent law. But in copyright, any work which is there, you can sing it, you can do what, so it's the expression. Whether Lata ji sings it, or Jagjit ji sings it, or any other artist sings it, Anuradha Padwal, or anyone. So each of them has a separate right in their expression of that particular bhajan. So the Ganesh Stuti, Shiv Stuti, anything, everyone can sing it. They do not have a right on that bhajan or the stuti. Unless that itself is an original literary work, like Javed Saab's lyrics itself would have a copyright. No one else can use it without a license. So what is protected in that copyright law is the expression of the work, not the idea of the work. So there can be any number of television serials on Saas Bahu Jagara. There cannot be a monopoly on that. There can be any number of movies, serials on crime, on all these kind of things. But what is protected is that expression only, not the idea of the entire thing. There can be very common stories which can be there. All that is, permissible in the creative industry. Yes, go forward. So let me give you some examples. This was a case of Band Baja Bharat. In this, there was a well-known movie called Band Baja Bharat. I think, how many of you know this movie? See how permeated the copyright industry is. So someone tried to use a similar kind of marketing material. See the two marketing material. So the court, they went to the court, and the Delhi High Court said the forms and expression of the Band Baja Bharat movie has been copied. So this is like one of the cases which has come in the court. I'm trying to show you some interesting, cases so that you can connect as to how copyright and creativity is connected to the law. So these are cases which come every day in our courts. Okay. Now this is a case of MySpace versus Super Cassettes. In this, what happened? T-series songs were available on the internet, on the website called MySpace. So the question was whether MySpace is infringing the copyright. But the court said MySpace is only a website which permits people to put copyright works on the website. So all that MySpace can do is, if you tell them, if T-Series tells MySpace that this is an infringing copy, they'll take it down. They themselves don't have the responsibility to keep monitoring it. So this is a new thing. Like, for example, suppose one of you tries to upload any copyrighted material on YouTube. Someone can put a complaint, and those are called, I think there's a particular word for it, strikes, copyright strikes. So copyright strikes can be put on YouTube, and then that particular video will be taken down. And if it's taken down, then you and the other person have to go and fight in court. So this new internet-based copyright industry is creating lots of challenges and lots of avenues for revenues as well. So today, any original production can go on YouTube and you can earn revenues without even worrying about it. Because the more views you get, the more revenues generated, and the artist is compensated for it. Let's look at the next case. Okay, so who is the owner in the case of a copyrighted work? Suppose there is a producer of a movie. There are 100 artists who are in that movie. The script writer, the screenplay writer, the lyricist of the songs, the singers, the actors, everyone. But the person who commissions all of them is the owner of the copyright. This is under section 17 of the Act. Yes. So there was this was a case where there was a movie called Bali, and this Surya was saying that they've only given me credit, but that is not enough. And the court said, yes, if he has written the screenplay, you have to acknowledge it, definitely. You cannot not acknowledge this, right? So these kind of cases come to court every day. Now look at this song. In this, what happened? He's a very well-known singer. Can you all name him? Satinder Pal Chakra, yeah. So he came to court, and I remember I was in the IP division when this case came. And what had happened was, Satinder had given the right in that Jalsa song to two parties, and then those two parties were fighting, and then there was a third thing, this Akshay Kumar movie came in. What is the movie called? I think it's the movie where there's this gentleman who, in a mine, saves a lot of people. It's based on a real... Raniganj, Mission Raniganj, yes. This was the movie. In that, the Jalsa song was there. And Satinder Pal had sang that song for the movie. The case came to court, and the problem that the court was facing was, he had given the rights to one company earlier, And then he had also sung the same song for the Mission Raniganj. So in this case, what happened was the movie was allowed to retain the song, but the singer was made to deposit 25 lakhs in the court to safeguard the rights of the plaintiff. So this is what happened in this case. Now this is another case which is still pending. Now in this case, there is A.R. Rahman on the one hand and Dagar, Wasifuddin Dagar on the other hand. So this is about this movie called, it starts with P, it's that famous movie, the Tamil movie. So there is a movie song called Veera Raja Veera in that, and that song, the Dagar brother is saying that it's based on the Shiva Stuti. So the only issue in that is whether that particular raga and tal can be monopolized, or whether that particular composition has been infringing or not. So such big cases also come to court in copyrights. Now what one cannot do, whoever is the owner or the author, is you cannot kind of spoil the song, spoil the painting, do bad things to it. So there was an interesting case of Anil Kapoor. So what happened was Anil Kapoor's image and jackass was being used to make porn films on the internet. So this was protected, Anil Kapoor's rights were protected in this. And there's another, and they were selling Anil Kapoor's, tea mugs with his image and everything. So this was protected. And next is a case where Arijit Singh, some AI program was being used to generate the same voice as Arijit Singh. So the AI program, they went to court, and the court held, the Bombay High Court held that without permission if you do it, it is violation of the celebrity's popularity rights. So all of these actors, singers, artists, they all go to court to protect their copyright, without doubt. Now there is even copyright in the movie title as well. Like for example, in Sholay, it has been recognized that there is a right in the movie title. Yes, please go forward. Now, on the one hand, this copyright, people who own rights. What is the fair use right? For example, one of the most contested cases is about the Oxford Cambridge publishing, where photocopying of books and textbooks was an issue. And I think it's still a very controversial issue right now for course papers. But anyway, leaving that aside, there is a recent case of the Bombay High Court on Shadi mein music bajayenge, so is it fair use or not? If a particular copyrighted work is used in in a teaching in class, is it fair use or not? For example, I remember a very interesting case which I had done. Cricket match mein, suppose someone hits a six, and that particular clip is picked by the news channel saying that just now there's been a sixer which has been hit by Sachin or whatever. So the question was whether that particular clipping, lifting it from ESPN or Sony, would make it copyright violation. So the court said no, as long as it is newsworthy, you can do it for maybe 10 seconds, 15 seconds. But if you create a whole program on the cricket match, then that you can't do. You have to take rights and license rights from that. So these are all the issues which the creative industry faces. Skip. So what the copyright industry realized after some time was, सिर्फ copyright is not enough, it also needs neighboring rights. जैसे performance rights है, television rights है. So these are all now recognized rights under the Copyright Act. So I think we'll have to go a little further quickly. This presentation you can see if you wish. Come to the, yes, wait here, go back please. One slide. Yes. What is the biggest challenge that copyright industry is facing now? It's artificial intelligence and technology. So is this going to kill our copyright industry? That is the question. And therefore the creative industry needs to have more forums like this to discuss how to deal with technology, how to use technology for the advantage of the industry rather than for the destruction of the industry. Because it's so easy today, for example, to use AI to create any amount of copyrighted works. You can actually put on ChatGPT and say, write a full book or write a full story on Saas Bahu relationship. and ChatGPT will write you a nice story. And it's absolutely fresh, new. So, who will be the owner of the copyright in that? Should AI own a copyright? If you ask ChatGPT, draw a painting like MF Hussain, it will be able to do it. Does it mean that copyright industry is finishing? How do you tackle it? Should AI works be given copyright? Who will be the owner of the AI works? These are extremely challenging and complicated questions which we will all need to answer, and we should save like for example, if you say if AI software is connected to 3D printers and if you tell them please weave a Kanjivaram sari, it may actually just weave a Kanjivaram sari. We never know. Then what happens to all our weavers? So, are we in a situation where we are ready to deal with technology? That is the question. Yes. One way, I think is for copyright to get together and to, have a blockchain or something like that. Let's go forward. This will be the last few slides which I'll do. Just go forward to 2047. Yes. Now let's look at this. This would show to you that it's a $30 billion industry and it's 8% of the country's employment, as Ms. Pandya said. The Indian publishing industry is fourth in the whole world, behind US, Germany, Japan. India creates the largest amount of copyrighted works in the whole world. It's the country which creates the maximum amount of copyrighted works. The box office revenues are 1.4 billion in 2023. 29% of the total films in the world are made in India. Please remember, Indian films are not just in Hindi. The major industry is also the regional industry. Tamil, Telugu, Kannada, and all Punjabi, Marathi, Gujarati films. They are all very, very big industries. The video game sector is also growing 18.3% from 21 to 26. So there is a huge growth in the video game industry because video games are also protectable and copyright. So what do we lack right now? And I want to give you a story before I tell you what is the problem. When I was a lawyer one day, one of my biggest clients, it was a beverage company, came up to me and said, we want to make an advertisement banana hai. We want to make a commercial, an advertisement. And we want to use this particular song's small clip or music for that advertising film. I said, yeah, so go ahead, what's the problem? So they said, we don't know whom to give the money to. We don't know who's the owner of the rights in this song. So we then said, okay, let's try and find out, let's try and see if there's some platform from where we can give it to them. We couldn't, and you know the sad part, they just gave up. They just used some other music. So there are millions and millions of examples like this every day. There is no way to know who is the owner or an author in the copyrighted work. There is no licensing platform currently. There are just 2 copyright societies and I don't know how they function. They have their own ways of functioning. There are no standard rates. Go back please. There are no standard rates. There is no collection of royalties which is taking place in India on a centralized platform. And do you know something? This is in my personal knowledge that all Indian works which are used internationally, the copyright societies of those countries have collected money, but they don't know who to give it to in India. And I'm told, as of last year, that amount is $200 million. They don't know whom to give it to in India because there is no centralized copyright platform. There's widespread piracy of Indian works. You go to any part of the world. On the internet, you have pirated websites, you have pirated content. You can just plug in the internet and you can have NDTV, ZTV, whatever TV you want. And no royalties are paid for anything for the Indian industry. The copyright societies don't function transparently. There's no one who's controlling or regulating them. So there are no proper, clear solutions, but some solutions are this. Go back, please. No, go back, go back. Go to the end. I think the screen went black because there are no solutions. Yes, one more. Yes. I think the solution is to have an all-India database of copyright owners, an all-India platform for royalties, an all-India distribution platform for lyricists, artists and musicians. Copyright societies should come under that platform. International usage, substantial sum is collected, it should be used for the Indian artists. There is no one body which represents the creative and copyright industries. So the digital rights management framework in our country needs to be strengthened. I think the creative industry has done so much for India, and this is the least that either a government-based platform or a creative industry platform, the industry and the government should create one platform. If you don't do it, I think we are in for a complete problem, especially because with technology, the creative industry is going to face huge challenges. With that, I say that the creative industry should speak in one voice. All of you should get together and create this platform so that the artists, most of the artists are actually hand to mouth in India. Their songs are played everywhere, but they don't get any royalties. So, for the sake of the artist, please create this platform and then start collecting royalties and distributing it to them and make usage of copyrighted works more transparent. Thank you so much.
Wow. Don't you think it was so creative and interesting?
Yeah.
Yes? Thank you so much, ma'am. It was wonderful, wonderful. And now I request all our dignitaries to have a group photograph, please.